This week on Cook with Cabela's, we're gonna have some corned venison hash here in hunting camp with my good friend, Scott Laseth, host of The Sporting Chef. Scott, what's corned venison?
You know, it's a way of preserving, and actually, you know, you've had corned beef. Which is a beef brisket.
That's right.
Which is a tough piece of meat. And corning, all this really is, it's a brining process. It takes about 5 to 7 days, depending on how big it is. And then after you brine it, you boil it.
That's right.
And you get that red color in there because of
the cure,
the nitrites, nitrates. I'm using a high mountain jerky seasoning, which contains everything you need in the cure, and they have different flavors to it. You start out with a brine. You've got 3 quarts of water. I'm using the high mountain cracked pepper and garlic. There's the seasoning.
All right, get a little seasoning in there, and the next step is the cure.
This is the cure.
Like you said, that's the nitrates in there. And when you have corned beef on St. Patrick's Day, you notice it's kind of a reddish color. What creates that color? It's the cure.
That's from the cure. And you can actually have it corned without the nitrate in there.
Yep.
But it's not going to have that reddish color. It's going to be gray, not quite as
appealing.
eye-appealing.
Exactly.
Right. Besides the cure and the seasoning, I also have some pickling salt.
Okay.
And I have just some regular table sugar.
Some pickling spices,
pickling
is that correct?
spice.
That's just going to add another level of flavor to that.
About that much.
How about a couple of bay leaves?
A couple of bay leaves. You bring this to a boil and let everything mix together, all the flavors mix together. Then you let it cool completely.
Yeah, because you're not cooking it at this step. So you want that cure and that brine cool when you put that venison roasted.
Yeah, don't add the hot cure, the hot brine into this. But once this is completely cooled, I'm going to pour it on top of this zipper lock bag, or you can put it into a plastic, non-reactive container in the refrigerator for 5 to 7 days. This is a really good way to cook honker breast.
That's right.
Big Canada goose breast.
And there's another thing you can do with this step. We're not going to do it today. You can actually make pastrami this way as well. Sure. The next step after this, instead of the boiling, you do some smoking, and then you boil it up. So we're doing the corn version, so we're not going to smoke it today.
And this is my previously done version here, and you can tell the color is here. This is venison. This is a large muscle out of the venison hind quarter.
That's right. Look at the length of those muscles. That'd be a really tough cut normally.
Right.
But you've boiled it.
I'm going to chop it up, and you're going to make hash.
That's right. We're going to have some hash. I'm going to get my heat going here. Scott, as you chop that up, I'm going to get the hash going. Hash is a great way to use leftover cuts of meat as well. I love hash the next day after I have steak. If I have a little leftover steak, you can chop it up, leftover vegetables. But we're using corned venison today. So start with a little butter in this hot skillet, as you can hear. I'm gonna get that just good covering. Get a little onions in there. And some garlic. Just gonna give that a few seconds. I can smell that garlic cooking there. Just sweat those onions a little bit, get them to soften. Get a little of that raw onion flavor out of them.
And if you're going to go camping, the idea here would obviously be to do the corning process ahead of time. Vacuum pack it, you can freeze it. Once you've corned it, it'll last for a long, long time.
Long time. I mean, corning is something that the pioneers, and a long time ago, they came up with this way to preserve meat.
Right.
Through salt. I mean, when they had it on ships, lots of different reasons for corning venison. How about some peppers in there now?
Let's go.
Are you telling me to speed things up because you're hungry? And some potatoes that we diced up. Well, I'm always messy. I'm always throwing food all over. I've been that way since I was a kid. Hey, Scott, you have a salt over there?
I do have some high mountain garlic pepper rub.
That's even better.
And I like my hash on the peppery side. And I would not be opposed to putting in a couple of hot peppers in here.
Gotcha.
Some jalapeno. I don't know what it is about.
Put a bunch of black
something
pepper.
About breakfast in the morning. I like it to be spicy.
To wake you up.
To wake me up.
All right. I'm probably not too far away from wanting some corned venison in here.
Ready?
Let's do it. And that's going to break up some more as it cooks, and I'll break it up a little bit more.
And you want the potatoes, cook it until the potatoes are just at least lightly browned. You want it to be a little crispy.
That's right.
So it's still going to take a few more minutes. And then, of course, what do you put on top of your corned venison hash?
I love eggs.
A couple of eggs. And I like them sunny side up and runny and messy.
Yeah, because you're going to get some crunchiness from that hash because the bottom of that's just going to crunch up a little bit. And that way that runny egg yolk mixes with that crunchiness and it's wonderful.
You got about another, I'm going to go 5-6 minutes.
That's right. So this has got the right amount of crunch for me. I really like a little bit of crunch on this. So I'm going to add some eggs, then we'll cover it, and we're going to poach these eggs
So you like yours soft and runny too, don't you?
Yeah, I like that. I just think that yolk really adds a little something to it. Oh, I broke one.
That was bound to happen, don't you think?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a wreck in the kitchen.
One more for the odd number, right?
That's right. You don't ever want to go even. I'm going to put this lid on there. I mean, it's going to poach in no time. And it's going to, those whites are going to set, but the yolks are still going to be a little bit of runny. So we'll cover that up. Wait maybe a minute or two, and then it'll be time to eat.
You bet.
All right, Scott, I'm almost positive these eggs are done. That
Wow.
looks perfect to me.
And what's cool about it is as soon as you dig into that, the whole thing's going to get nice and runny.
That's right. I am going to add a little bit more of the seasoning and some hot pepper because we like things spicy here.
And it looks pretty on those eggs.
Man,
that looks good, man.
That's going to be good. We're going to get a couple plates and have a little breakfast. Thanks for joining us. Scott, thanks for joining us as well.
Always a pleasure.
Come back next week for Cook with Cabela's.